Well, good morning, everybody. Even though there's nobody here, there will be. As you can see, I've been working on this. This has been a sand out down to 2,000. And I'm going to take the camera here and give you a close-up view of exactly what's going on. Now, this is just 2,000. It's got 3 more steps to go. So today I'll be sanding with 3,000. It looks pretty good. I mean, most people would just stop here. That's just because of the amount of work that's involved to get it like this. But we're going to go ahead and go the extra mile. And now what'll happen here, because I've done this when it was green, as the paint cures, it will dull up again, but it'll be smooth. So to bring it back, it won't take much to bring the luster back up. I'd say in about 2 weeks it will haze up, but that's not a problem. I mean, like I say, it's not a big deal. So what do you think of that finish there? Is that and it'll even get better than that. Like if you look right here, it's hazy right in here. We'll get that out of there, and that comes from sanding. The nose come out good, and everything's come out real good. And the most important part is it's still light. So let's hit it with some 3,000. What's the problem here? You see people jumping in and out. Is there a problem with the stream? Let's look here. The tube. Testing. All right. All right, so that's working. Test. Okay, that's working. All right. Now this is 3,000 grit. It's a sanding pad. It's not paper. It's just a pad. But the pad holds water, so that's good. So I'm going to go over these areas that need attention. I can see YouTube's acting goofy again. I got 2 likes but 0 watchers. So if you're watching this, type something in the chat. Now this will bone it out, and you at the beginning of this video you saw what it looked like, how shiny it is, and you're going to see that it's going to be dull again here in a second. I have got some work into this finish already as far as sanding. I mean, I haven't been on showing you sanding because it's very boring. I mean, who wants to see a guy sand for 20 hours? But I thought I'd show you the next step in the process to bring that finish up from where it was. And I'll make a comparison with the walk around here. We'll just do one panel on this go around. Dope or lacquer is a funny thing. The more you rub it, the shinier it'll get. I mean, this thing will get a 36-inch finish if you work hard at it. But it does take a lot of labor to bring up the finish. And like I say, we're going to end up with 10,000 grit as a polish. Well, we got 4 watchers now. Okay, great. And it just takes patience. Patience and a strong elbow. I got a couple of days left to finish this up, so it's my Christmas present. We'll wrap it in a bow, get on to the next project. I'm already thinking on how to make things lighter. We got 57 ounces here, which is not bad. I got the Magnum to finish, but I'm gonna start the brother, the Aegis 2 shortly to change this up to make it lighter. And I'm thinking I can lose an ounce in the stab, maybe another ounce in the nose by a different method of construction. I don't know, I've built so many damn stabs over my life. They're always, for this size 30-inch stab is always 3 ounces. So it's an ounce and 10. The only way to get it lighter is less wood. Now, when I did my Viper series in the 90s, the stab was an I-beam. And they were, of course, not as big as this, but relatively light. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Now I want to sand this till it's milky. looking pretty good. If you go back to the beginning of this video, I gave a close-up what this looked like. I can do it on the other side, I guess. Do the comparison. Oh, that's real good right there. Okay, let's go cam in hand. And we'll get a look, and I'll show you that it needs some more. Now, here we have the shine of this side. That looks pretty good. And here we have the shine of this side, which is pretty flat. Now, if you look real close here, you can see little tiny specks. And then here there's the coloration change where you can push on this and you can't push on the covering. So we're going to keep rubbing on this until it all looks like that right there. That's what we want right there with no shiny spots. If you look right there, there's a shiny spot. So we'll do that with the 3000. And then once that's done, we come back with the 5000 and do it again. And that's how you get a mirror finish. I mean, there's just no other way around it. Unless you want to use spray shine. And even spray shine benefits from a standout like this. I mean, the guys that are doing the spray shine, yeah, the airplanes look pretty good, but I bet you I can make them look better as far as the shine goes. It's just harder because that material is so much harder than dope. If you're going to do that standout, you need to do it exactly like I did this. Start sanding right the very moment you can handle it. Get the mountains knocked off. We'll polish this up here and give you an idea what it looks like. Rub it out. This stuff is $7 a sheet. So what I do is I cut it in half, and I use half for the top and half for the bottom. This half will do the whole top of this side. The other half will do the bottom. When it stops cutting is when you need to buy another sheet. This ain't no bad Chad. Remember, we're sanding, we're not polishing yet. I want it flat. There's still some little speckles in there, and what those speckles are is the peel. It's from the paint gun not laying down a. Of course, I'm trying to cut back. I really don't do big, heavy flow coats. I kind of just dust them on. If I was doing heavy flow coats, I'd use my Spectrum gun. But the airplane would be heavy then. So we'll get this here and we'll polish it up, and I'll try not to bore you too long today. Anybody on here? Is there you guys watching or what? Give me something in the chat. So on this channel, you've seen it come from a drawing to an airplane. Actually, idea drawing to an airplane. Okay. Let's see how it looks now. Well, I think I can get some of that with the wheel. Ease up on the elbow a little bit. Yeah, we might be getting into going too far there. We shall see. Okay, that's 3,000. I think this compound is around 6,000. This stuff, that's 10,000. This is McGuire's Ultimate Compound. It cuts better than the. Oh, we got some water there. It cuts better than the Finesset. The Finesset's kind of just the top polish. We're really compounding with this McGuire's. Shit, we're gonna need some more up there. Let's chuck up a new battery. There, come on. About killed that battery. Oh, we're done. Oh yeah. I'll do this wing and the nose just to show you the difference. And at the beginning of this video, I did a camera in hand, a close-up of what the finish was, and most people would say, well, that's good enough. It's not, though. Yeah, take some more. Take some more sanding in the open bays to get them like metal. Each time it gets better and better and better. Let's see where I missed now. You don't want to let this compound dry. It will burn the paint. Get this compound off here and see what we got. There we go. Not bad, but it's going to be better. I'm so glad I figured out these Scott towels are the best for buffing paint. We'll do the nose next. And then that should be our hour's worth. One panel on the nose. Let's see, did we get, yeah, that's pretty close. See, just not perfect yet. So what we'll do, let's see what it looks like when I put the polish on it. Kind of hazy right there. Not bad. We still got the 5,000 to go yet, so I won't be doing that today. Probably won't do that this week. 5,000. That'll wait. Merry Christmas, Wild Bill. We're going to change pads and go to the finesse it, see what happens. See if it comes up right. Okay, I dropped my only pad on the floor. Yeah. So this is the finest of the foam pads. Have you gone electric? I still fly nitro. I built 5 or 6 purpose-built electric airplanes. I didn't like it. Okay, finesse it. Let's go back to this. See, polish it up, see what it looks like. This is a PA 65 on a pipe, or not on a pipe, on a muffler. See, there's the exhaust right there. I'll do the camera in hand here in a second. As soon as I polish this. Yeah, just what I didn't want to do. Every one of my shirts has got a line of compound across my belly. And you're 35, yeah. They were good back in the day. This airplane has enough clear on it that I only have, I really don't have to worry about it. Normally when I paint these, I stop at the 1 quart, but this has a half a quart more on it, so I think that's going to be my regiment from now on out. The extra half a quart will go on the top. Because even though it's 57 ounces, that's well respectable. I'd rather it was 52, but you know, I'm not Billy. I don't have that good wood. Okay, let's see what it says here. It says, just found your channel yesterday. Wanted to say hello. No problem. Have a great day. Glad you found the channel, Bill. I don't know why they don't recommend me more, but yeah, that looks pretty good. Still could go step up one more step, but we're not going to do that today. Get this cleaned off and I'll give you a camera in hand. And remember, there's no wax on this. I think I might try ceramic coat on this one. And still a few scratches. switch towels. This seems to be grinding in the compound. Only control line I built with full fuse was a Super Ringmaster. Well, go back on my channel, look back in the videos. It shows you exactly how to build everything, how to finish everything, how to mold stuff. There's so many videos. There's like 2,000, over 2,000 videos on how to do this. Step by step. What is this? And we're going to sand that nose anyway. And I got it, so that's good. Yeah, I watch all kind of videos on YouTube, how to build different things. And I would say these are a whole lot harder to build than most of the stuff on YouTube and do right. Unless they whittle it down a 6 months or a year project into an hour, which I don't know if they do or not. But I've been flying a little longer than that, Bill. It's at 10 years. My first airplane was a Wenmac T6 trainer. I think it was about 5 or 6 years old. Let's see, that would be, yeah, about 1960, 61, 2. Somewhere before Kennedy was shot, because I had that airplane before Kennedy was shot. Okay, let's do cam in hand and we'll see what the difference is. Mostly RC. Yeah, and I never flew RC. I always flew control line. All right, here's the start, what it's like. The shine of the start. And then that's 2,000 on that side. The nose is 2,000. This is 3,000 on this side. And we still got 2 steps to go. Yeah, to bring that shine up even more. Yeah, see right here, right there. Need to get that out of it. That only way that'll come out of it is sanding. So get a good look at the nose here. You see how this looks. It looks pretty good. I mean, it's pretty shiny. We're going to sand it out with 3000 and see how much it comes up. I won't have a comparison because I only got one nose. But we'll sand that up before the hour goes. We got 15 minutes. Maybe I'll do a little longer. I don't know. Well, the story behind my Wenmac T6 trainer is, see, my dad flew speed. And in 1948, he got second place at the Canadian Nationals, or won, or something, I don't know. And subscribe, great. Join, become a member so you can get some of them other notifications. It's only $4.95 a month. Anyway, my dad and my Uncle Jerry were into model airplanes. Well, my Uncle Jerry worked for Laidlaw's Harley Davidson, and he jumped the freeway and broke his right arm and his leg. So he came to live with us for a while. And they bought me this T6 trainer for Christmas. I think it was about 1962. And because it was before John Kennedy was shot, because I had that airplane before he was shot. So either 61 or 2. Anyway, that's how I can tell you where I was at different times by model airplanes. Anyway, he came to live with us, and he started building a Thunderbird. And they said, well, we'll take you to the schoolyard and teach you how to fly this thing, this T6 trainer. Okay, great. So we went down to Orangewood School, which was the grade school, not the middle school. And we flew it in their parking lot. Well, they flew it in the parking lot. They both did a couple laps and crashed it and broke it to hell. They said, well, you can't fly it, so we'll fly it for you or whatever. So they crashed it and broke it. I brought it back. Remember, I'm just a little kid. And put it back together. And I snuck off by myself and started flying it at the schoolyard without him. I didn't need him. And that's how I got started in airplanes. I can remember about 1960, Santa Claus brought me a F4U Corsair. My dad hired somebody to dress as Santa Claus. He knocked on the door and brought me an F4U Corsair metal, die-cast metal model with folding wings and everything. I just always been an airplane nut. And that's why when I went into service, I went into the Airedale side of the Navy. This is where you think, oh no, I've ruined it. Because you saw how shiny it was before we started this business. Okay. Now, let me see if we can show you what I'm talking about on what we're trying to get rid of. Okay, I just sanded it with 3000. Can you see these micro micro little imperfections in that. We're trying to get all those out, and we want it completely flat. It was shiny before, but it wasn't as good as it could be. So we'll go over it again. Hard to believe I got 15 of these in this room. Come on, get in there. Okay, let's hit it again. Remember what I told you about chrome? That's what you got to keep in mind. How does a chrome bumper get so shiny? It's not the chrome that makes it shiny. It's the guy standing there at the polishing wheel polishing these things to get the imperfection out. The chrome plating is only a protectant to keep it from rusting. That part goes in the tank just as shiny as it is if it was chrome. So that's, once you understand that process and that theory, you can get these 36-inch finishes. And this is not done out here. This, like I say, it will get 5,000. No, we're done doping. Dope adds weight. All this elbow grease just adds shine. There we go. Okay, just that little bit of extra effort took all those imperfections out. Let me do it one more time. This is the hardest part of the whole model, is the finish. The finish takes twice as long. I can frame this up in 40 hours. Okay. I got a spot. It's going away, but okay. Back to the cam in hand. We ain't got a whole lot of time. Okay, I showed you them spots. All them spots are gone now, just by that added extra little bit. And this is the focal point of your airplane, so you want this as perfect as you can get. Okay, we want to compound that. We don't want to polish it yet. Somebody asked how much a finish like this cost. Just in material, there's over $300 in material. Oh shoot, I don't want to use that pad. I want to go back to this other pad. What a difference that made. Now this channel for the next week is going to be the same thing, except for I'm going to start that Magnum fuselage today. The Magnum fuselage redo. It's ready to go. Wings covered, doped. Elevators are covered in dope. The rudder's covered in dope. The fuselage is I just want to remake it. I don't like it. So let's get rid of these and probably get another roll of paper towels out here. What did I just put on? I just used McGuire's Ultimate Compound. And then we'll go to finesse it. This is rubbing compound. About $7 to $9 a pint. This is polishing compound, about $35 a pint, $30 to $35 a pint, depending on where you get it. And you want to keep them separate. Like this is a rubbing compound pad. We're going to go to the polishing pad, which is the finest foam that you can get. I mean, finest grit that it is. And then we'll put some of this polish on it. This has petroleum in it. It smells like fuel, you know. I know there's some type of petroleum in it. Gonna have to go to the zone and get some more sandpaper before it starts snowing. Finish starts with the first piece of wood cut. You're not going to get a good finish without good tight joints and nice sanding. You can't put enough paint on to make a good finish with crappy woodwork. For you guys just learning this craft, it's an expensive learning curve, because if you make a mistake on a piece of wood, don't use it. Throw it out, put it aside, cut it up, use it for something else. Cut another one, make it perfect. The more perfect you can make everything, the better the model finishes. Yeah, it's looking like a bowling ball. I can almost shave in it. Yeah, I got some scratches up here. I'm gonna have to sand out. I don't know how that happened. Shiny, but let's see what we got here. drop to 5,000 to get them out. Okay, now if you guys were here, I gave a tour, or I hand in hand of what the nose looked like before the 3,000 grit. Now let's look at it afterwards. And it'll go once again a step up from that with 5,000 grit, and then the 10,000 compound. But that don't look too shabby. That's where most guys would stop because it's just too much work. But we're gonna get that perfect finish. No gold leaf on this model, but whatever. Appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys are having a good Christmas. This is my Christmas vacation. This is my Christmas present to myself. So it started in August. July, August, yeah, in August. If you go back on the channel, it'll show you all the way from the drawing, the full-scale drawing that I did. And this is the only airplane in 40 years I've done a drawing for. Usually I just build them. And I even did the paint scheme layout on a drawing, which I normally don't do. What did I do with it? I don't know. It's around somewhere. Huh. I know I didn't put it inside my sign painter's box. Why would I do that? Anyway, there's a whole lot more to control line precision aerobatics than people think, and that's what makes it so challenging. Nobody's ever flown a perfect pattern. Nobody's ever built a perfect airplane. It's just an imperfect thing to do. I mean, you just try to get it as close as you possibly can in hopes that you beat the next guy. And if you think my airplane is top notch, well, that's great. I did win the concourse last year with that airplane, the Monado. I won the concourse trophy, which is sitting on the shelf right there. However, there's at least 4 or 5 other guys on the front row that could possibly win that trophy. And there's at least 60 to 100 airplanes of this caliber at the Nationals. So I'm not doing anything different than the guys. I'm just showing what it takes to do this, and hopefully you can gain from my experience, which is over, and I got to get a calculator and figure out how many years that is. I keep saying 50, but I know it's more than 50. Probably 60. Let's see. We'll say 62. That's 60 years. 2022 minus 1962. Yeah. 60 years experience. Hopefully I can pass on just a little. If you get one little bit out of everything that I throw out there. You know, that's something you put into the knowledge bank, and hopefully it helps you. You go, hey, I remember Sparky said that you got to do this to get this result. Now, I think different than most of the engineers. I'm an eyeball engineer. I went to the school of hard knocks, and I go, yeah, that looks about right. And it is. If it looks right, it'll be right. Go back and watch my Nobler stunt design video. And that's basically what we have here, just a giant Nobler. Everything, there hasn't been any change in airplanes and all the years going, I think. The biggest change in stunt design was the Nobler. Barnstormers and then ringmasters and all that other weird stuff. But George came up with the idea of the turtle deck and just the general layout. This is a Nobler. And nothing has changed since. There's only so many ways you can put a wing in a fuselage. It's either in there or out of there. I've seen at the Nationals, I've seen many wings out of there, just like Brazil. When them Brazilian guys came, they were flying along and the fuselage flew off and the wing came down came down on the wires, and one of the engines almost hit me one time, but within 5 foot it landed at my feet and the engine flew out of there. I don't think them guys know how to use glue. Hopefully the guys in Brazil, which I know many do watch me, hopefully you guys learn good joinery and use glue. Good glue, not garbage. If the only glue you can get is white glue, it does work, but it just takes longer. You know, make sure you got it, and it's heavier. Of course, I'm not so sure. CA is probably the heaviest glue. All this sanding's tiring me out. CA is probably the heaviest glue because nothing gases off or evaporates. At least with white glue, 50% of that is the vehicle. So if you thin your glue 50-50, that means you get 25% of glue and 75% of vehicle. And that'll evaporate, meaning a lighter airplane. It'll be just as strong because when you wet the wood, as the water evaporates, it draws the joint closer. Don't use Gorilla Glue. That's heavy stuff. And when you use epoxy, wipe all the mess off. Get rid of that. You don't need to carry around that extra weight. And you think, well, that guy's a fanatic. He's wiping the glue off and this, that, and the other. Why would you want to carry around extra weight? And if you know, a couple of grams here, a couple of grams there, you do that 30 times, that's over an ounce. So you know, and weight does matter. I don't care what anybody says. You know, I hear rocket scientists say, well, you know, the wing loading pi times radius square of Whipple plate and waffle pump. It doesn't matter. A Cadillac's not going to turn as sharp as a Volkswagen. It's mass inertia. You know, you want it to go as quick as you can around the corner, and in order to do that, it's got to be light. Why does a combat wing turn so abruptly? Well, it doesn't weigh anything, and the moments are short. The engine's back in the leading edge, and you got leverage on the tail, so it's obviously going to go around a tighter turn. And a combat plane is probably the only plane that can turn close to a 5-foot radius, but it still will not. So they did change the rule book stating nice, smooth, tight corner. It doesn't say 5-foot radius anymore. Where they came up with that 5-foot radius, I don't know. But I like an airplane that flies along and turns a nice sharp corner. And then when it comes down, because of the way that I build these, this airplane's nose heavy, but it will turn tighter than a tail heavy airplane and be more directionally stable. So I want my airplane nose heavy so it turns and locks, you know, boom. It's following the nose. It's not following the tail. So I do the short coupled moments where this is 16 and a quarter, and a lot of guys are thinking, well, I can get it to go around a corner with a longer tail moment. Yeah, but the corner is slow. It's clock time. It goes ooh, like them big mushy corners. I want them to go snap like that. So that's just my thought. You know, you can do it any way you want. I'm just here to pass on some of the secrets that I know of build and finish. So if you have any questions, you can always ask me on the forum. You can ask me here in the comment section. Leave a comment down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. And if you can, join to become a paid member. That helps me bring this content to you, because as far as YouTube's concerned, we ain't making no money on this stuff. This I'm going out backwards. It costs a lot of money to do these things. How is the tail moment measured? Well, from a modeler's perspective or an engineer's perspective. A modeler's perspective is from the hinge line to hinge line is the tail moment. From the leading edge to the back plate of the spinner is the nose moment. From the modeler's perspective. From the engineer's perspective, it's from the back plate of the spinner to the center of gravity, and the center of gravity back to the trailing edge. So how is it measured by me? Yeah, that looks about right. I just have a set of numbers that I know work. I've tried all different things, like my S6B Supermarine is a 17 and a quarter inch tail moment with an 8 3/4 inch nose moment. And the reason for that, it had a narrower wing. This core of this wing is 11 and a half inches. That wing is 10 and a half, just similar to this one. This airplane, same wing in my Supermarine. The moment or the measurement from here to here is 10 and a quarter. So it's a narrow wing, you know, it's a high aspect ratio wing, and it's a 62-inch wingspan. 10-62. It has I think that tail moment's 18, but it also has 11-inch nose. Bad mistake I made there. I mean, the airplane flies all right, but it's just not to my liking. You make a mistake by a 1/4 inch and they say, well, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So once you find a set of numbers that work for you, the way that you like to fly, I suggest you stick close around to them. This is old school numbers from 70s, 80s. It's just the way I like the airplanes to fly. But the most important thing is the weight. Keep the weight down. And John said to me one time, he said, these guys don't have any idea what you go through just to keep the weight down. I'll go through every part. I'll weigh the spinner. What does it weigh? What does this spinner weigh? I'll put the lightest part of everything that I can find. The only thing you can control is the fixed weight. The fixed weights are the weight of the prop, weight of the spinner, weight of the engine, weight of the pipe, weight of the muffler, weight of the tank, weight of the wheels. And most importantly, the second heaviest thing on the airplane besides the engine is the paint. That's why I've come up with that system, that 1-quart system. If you're not getting, this is a 7-ounce finish. If you're not getting a 6 to 7 ounce finish, you're putting way too much paint on something. Just ungodly amounts of paint. But a 6 to 7 ounce finish is 3 times the work of a 10-ounce finish. You know, or of 60. I've seen 16-ounce finishes. Matter of fact, I know there's a finish out there that's a 20-ounce finish. And that's just too much shit to be toting around for pretty points. So the thing is, make it look as good as you can. That's what all this rubbing is. Make it look as good as you can with the least amount of paint. Let me see if I can get them scratches out. Oh. That's another thing. Clean off your pads. As you can get a booger on it and grind a swirl into the dope. For you guys who don't know how to buff, don't tilt the buffer. That will burn one spot. Is the leading edge of the rudder airfoiled? Yes. Not by much, because it's only a 3/16 piece, but yes. I went away from the thick rudders to the 3/16 rudders for weight. And like my Thunderbolt up there has a 1/2 inch thick rudder. This one here has a 1/4 inch thick rudder. And all my series of this airplane have 3/16 rudders. And why? Weight. It's half the weight. Half the wood, half the weight. Yeah, it's gonna take the 5,000 to get them scratches out, I think. Yeah, maybe. We'll get her. That's pretty close right now. Pretty close. I can see my face in there. I got scratches up here too. Gotta get all them out. Any questions? Any scratches in this red? No. It's polished good. Black is the toughest color to paint because it shows every scratch, dent, dimple, whatever. So stay away from black. It's the lightest color to paint because of the way it covers, but everything has to be perfect. And you ain't gonna make a full airplane perfect. Next thing is you lose line of sight when it comes down through the trees or whatever, or you get a dark background, it'll disappear. So keep your airplanes white. It's the heaviest color to paint. However, if you do it the way that we've come up with, it's pretty light, where you're adding 2 spoonfuls of colored dope to your base, clear. By the time you're ready to spray clear, it takes 1 coat of clear, light dusting coat of clear to make it all white. Do not try to, make it opaque. You can see through my finishes. When you go up to the sun, you see right through the finish. It's all the paint it needs. It doesn't need all that weight on it. All my airplanes, you can see see through the wings. I don't mean like a window, but you can see that when it goes over the sun, over the wing over into the sun, you can see right through you can see light through the covering. So don't use any. Got away from primer 100%. There's no primer on these airplanes anymore. I did like DC 540. I wish I could get more. It was the lightest, quickest way to finish things. But they, they did exactly what I asked them. When I called Sherman-Williams, I said, "Hey, you guys going to discontinue?" They didn't discontinue it. They just made it unusable. So don't bother with DC 540. I'm not even sure it'd be usable for cars because it's just clear. It's like gray clear garbage. They made it environmentally friendly, and once they do that, anytime that something says biodegradable, non-toxic, and environment friendly, it's junk. Throw it away. It's crap. I'm surprised we can still use dope, to be honest with you. There's one place that makes dope, and it's in California, and it makes all the dope. Certified, Randolph, SIG, Brodak, it makes all the dope. One place, and California, which is the strictest EPA regulations, and I bet you can't get dope at the hobby shop in California. I think it only comes from aircraft spruce. That's the only place. And then they might have a super hazmat fee, making it absolutely costly to get anything. So if you order from Wix Aircraft and use the code STUNT10, you'll get 10% off your order. Doesn't matter what it is. So if you're a real airplane guy, a full-scale pilot, and you're watching this channel and you want to buy something from Wix Aircraft, put in STUNT10 and get 10% off. That avionics and dope and whatever, super fill, plywood, tubing, whatever. Just use STUNT10 to get 10% off. And this, I'm not sponsored by them, but I know Scott and I worked the deal with him. Yeah, the label was Chinese, but the dope came from California. Only one place making the dope. I don't know of any Chinese manufacturers of dope. That would be way, 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 way too costly to ship dope across the ocean. So, like I say, the can and the label may have came from there, but the dope came from California. It's certified. SIG is certified dope, and it's made by Randolph in California. They had Acme certified, Randolph. I even think Aerogloss was made by Randolph. But the reason they discontinued it is the MEK base. Let's see what he says here. Because I have, let's see here. I have 2 quarts. This is a pint, half pint. I have 2 quarts somewhere over there of this stuff here, and I loved it. I love Aerogloss. Now there was a change in labels too. The label on this is orange. The red label is better. This is when Pettit Hobby Epoxy took over Aerogloss. Oh no, Pactra. Pactra Inc., Rockford, Illinois, is the guys who can this, but they changed the formula. While this stuff here, This is old stuff. Yeah, it smells okay. The old stuff. Let me see if I get that other can, the red label. Maybe it's out in the garage, but I'll look over here. No, this is Midwest. This is Midwest. This is an orange label too. This Midwest smells different than this. This is Hobart, Indiana. It's all comes from the same place. I'm a connoisseur of dope. Trust me, I know the difference. Yeah, this has a different smell. And the red label has the real different smell. And the reason I haven't used this stuff, now let me go through this so you guys got a grip on Aerogloss. If you run across Aerogloss, I don't see that red label can. It's out in the garage, so we're not going to bother with that. Anyway, if you run across Aerogloss dope, you can paint anything over Aerogloss. You can paint certified Randolph, Sig, Brodeck over Aerogloss. You can't paint Aerogloss over anything. That includes powder coating. You can't, because it has MEK in it, methyl alpha ketone tech. You cannot paint that over anything. It will lift it right off the surface, right down to the bare wood, bare metal, whatever. So keep that in mind if you ever get any of that stuff. I love that stuff. It was the greatest stuff. You had to add 1 drop of castor oil per ounce of dope. So if you had a 20-ounce batch, you had 20 drops of food grade castor oil. And that was a plasticizer to keep it from cracking. Plus it polished up a whole lot better too. This late model dope that we got here, I've got airplanes that are 25 years old, and there's no checking or cracking, so plasticizer wasn't necessary. However, I might experiment and try adding plasticizer to it to see if it polishes with a deeper shine. We used to boil dope, paint upside down. Super dangerous to do. I don't recommend it. I'm not going to tell you how to do it because I don't want to get in trouble, but we used to do it. And what you want to do, you just do the first coat. You spray the airplane upside down so the dope stayed on top and didn't soak into the wood. I've done Z-epoxy finishes where I spread Z-epoxy over everything, wiped it all off, let it dry, sanded it, and then started applying dope and tissue. That's just an extra step every so well. The dope won't sink down into the wood. The best way to finish these models is 3 to 4 coats of dope. Put the first coat on 100%, then 50-50. So we got 100% coat of dope on, let it dry. It kind of seals the wood up. Clear. And tint that clear the same color you're going to paint your airplane. So a couple of teaspoons of that color into the clear dope. And that starts bringing that color up. And by the time you're ready to paint, it's 1 color and that's it. 1 coat and that's it. But so 1 full strength coat and then the rest 50-50. So we got 3 or 4 coats on the base, then you cover it. Then you put 3 coats of what's left in that quart, because it's only going to take a quart, a thinned quart, to do the substrate. Lots of sanding. and then half a pint of that little can full of white or whatever will be more than enough to paint your airplane. Half pint is more than enough white to paint your airplane. Paint your airplane one coat, put your trim on it, and then your other thin quart of dope you put on the top. Now I did, like I say, on this airplane, add an extra half quart. So we got 2 quarts of top clear on this, 1 quart unthinned, 2 quarts thinned on the top of this one. And it only added an extra ounce. So that's going to be the standard for me from now on. So it'll be 1.5 quart total dope. Plus the black that I have on this is probably, I think I used that can. I know that it's at least 40 years old. Dope doesn't go bad. The black on this is 40 years old. The paint. The yellow, I know, is probably 30 years old. 25 to 30. You just don't use enough of it. That red gallon of dope I bought will last me for the rest of my life. You just don't use, unless I paint a whole airplane, several whole airplanes that color, which it is a pretty neat color. But you go through lots of clear and lots of thinner. The clear used to be $85 a quart. It's now $85 a gallon. Now it's $125 a gallon because of our friend Brandon. And at least the thinner hasn't gone up. As far as I know, it's still $55 a gallon. So you don't use that to clean your gun. Use crap thinner, which crap thinners went from $5 a gallon to almost $25 a gallon, thanks to Brandon. I bought that Mason this Mason Jasco lacquer thinner. It's Jasco, a professional strength. You bet it is. Cleans sprayers and tools, improves flow, leveling, and helps resist blushing. Do not use this in your dope. It will blush. It says help reduce. I don't care what it says on the can. It's too hot. It will blush. You only use the thinner that you get from your dope. So if you're using SIG dope, you can use Randolph thinner, but I would just go with this. Stay with one product. I use this to clean the guns, and that's it. $22 a gallon or whatever. This can here is a 9703, $55 a gallon. And we'll probably go up from there. So if you get a gallon of dope, buy at least 2 gallons of thinner with it. Because by the time you're done, you'll use all the thinner, but you may not use all the dope. Well, there's a small education on rubbing and finishing. I probably bored you guys to death by now. I can go back to watching TV and polishing. And I'll come back later on this afternoon. We still got the bottom to do with this thing. But I'm trying to get out all the imperfections. Remember, that's not a decal, that's painted on there. We're almost ready to start bench trimming. As soon as I get finished polishing, I'll glue the elevators and flaps on. Shit slung all over the place. See, that's shiny, but it ain't perfect yet. I can still see some haze in it right here. A little bit of grain showing there, but that's okay. Like I say, this ain't the Bad Chad channel where I dump 10 gallon of clear on it. You see this right here? See how hazy it is? I got to polish all that haze out of it. And that probably won't polish out fully for 6 months. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this airplane. About as happy as I was when I finished the orange XL. So we're in good shape. And it's a way better. I'm glad I replaced. I hope it flies as good as the other one. It should. I paid attention to everything. At least all the important stuff. Alrighty, like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you in a couple hours while I sit here and rub my life away. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.